Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. Now, Better Begins Here is a non-profit organization dedicated to empowering young people to become better adults. This morning, I have the managing director of Better Begins Here, Wendy Baird, joining us via Zoom. Good morning to you, Wendy.
Good morning, Rawkus, and thank you for having me. Good
No,
morning to TNT and all the viewers.
not a problem at all. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So tell us about the origin of Better Begins Here and why did you think this was essential for us?
Well, as you mentioned before on your opening statement, Better Begins Here is a non-profit organization. We were founded in 2019, and of course, the mandate was to help persons to become a better version of themselves, and that included all ages. But it was not just limited. We would have wanted to empower persons who have challenges as well, persons who have some sort of disability. And so they were included. And not only that, Better Begins Here is also, we are located in Tobago, actually, our main office. And so our mandate too as well is to help persons in Trinidad, organizations who has a CSR initiative and they're looking for a competent partner. We are here to execute CSR initiatives so that they can have what they're looking for. Added to that, we are also involved in career guidance for young people starting at the age 15. So let's say from third form, we help them to find their purpose so that they can have a proper career guidance going forward. And what would have really ignited that too, I can mention three things that comes to mind. One, my own growth and progress. I too wanted to, become a better version of myself. And as I started my personal development journey, and I saw what that would have done for me as an individual, my growth. And I wanted to share that with the world. I saw it transform, relationships, my work ethics, and I saw even me on a whole, who I became. And as I said, I wanted to share that. Another pain point that would have been the catalyst to Better Begins Your Origin is poor leadership. Over the years, I've seen and experienced myself poor leadership. And so hoping with the next generation, we could be able to help them execute a better, more positive influence as they lead TNT. And then too, in terms of the disabilities, I'm a parent who has a child who has challenges. And every day she has siblings. And you will see them as they aspire, the siblings, that is. You will hear her. She wants to do more. She wants to be more. She wants to have more. And so that again would have also ignited my passion a little more to start Better Begins Here and continue on the journey.
Nice. So you're firing from all sides, all cylinders on and working and inspired to do the work. Now, I understand that you guys have hosted several workshops already, including parenting success and youth leadership, as you would have mentioned, the leadership crisis. Can you share some of the highlights from those sessions and the impact that you've seen that those sessions have had on the participants?
Sure. Just to mention that both our parenting success workshops and our youth leadership program is led by one of our amazing, dedicated life coach, lecturer, trainer, Mr. Dave Isaac. And I just want to use the opportunity to say good morning to him too. So good morning to Mr. Isaac. Mr. Isaac is highly qualified in so many areas. He's a life coach. He's a Jack Canfield trainer, John Maxwell trainer, wealth of knowledge coming forward. And yes, our parenting workshop, some of the highlights of it is that parents, while they understand that parenting is not an easy role, but they're able to now take away tools and resources to now help to insulate their young ones to the negativity that is taking place. And of course, workers, we could testify to what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago with young people, and even with the homes as well. And the parents now get resources and tools to help them. And also, they can now be the parent with positive influence. Because when you think about it, there's an age where control no longer works. And what does? Influence. So we are helping parents to see how they can continue to positively influence their children, building deeper connections with their children, and also while they give the influence and become friends with their children, they can still maintain that authority. With reference to the youth leadership, it started off as a 4-week program in partnership with Cipriani College of Labor and Cooperative Studies. However, because of the response we were getting, it now became a 9-week program. It is only on a Mondays for 1 hour in the evening from 6 to 7. But some of the highlights of that is that we are helping young ones to find their purpose, identify it, nurture their purpose. And in doing that, they get to understand that even though if they haven't found it at an early age, it's okay. Because some people find it earlier, some persons find it at a little later age. But you know what? Some persons never find it at all, and that becomes a disadvantage. If I were just to share, in the United States, research has shown that 85% of the persons who die from heart attack die from the working class, that is. They die within the hours of 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's no mere coincidence. Actually, they say that they go into jobs that they hate. So we don't want that to be happening in Trinidad and Tobago. So we are helping young ones from an early age, as I said, to identify their journey, to identify their purpose, nurture it, and so they can now find that fulfillment, in jobs that they decide to pursue or career, whether it's employment or whether they become entrepreneurs or as the case might be. And feedback from it, amazing. It's interesting how parents listening to the youth program, because we invite them to listen, we invite them to listen. They too, because of the information they're hearing, they have made changes in their lives as well. The degree that they didn't want to do no more, that they thought they weren't good enough and so on, they are now energized to go after it as well. So the children too, we get feedback, they settle down, parents now joining our young women community, our growth community. Amazing things happening, Rawkus, amazing things.
Well, it sounds like you're building back the community one brick at a time. And, that is definitely to be applauded. So I understand you also have an exciting lineup of events coming up. So you mentioned the youth leadership in collaboration with Cipriani Labor College. But I hear there's another one. Is it another one or you're just extended to 9 weeks?
It's now 9 weeks, but we always have a cycle happening. So the next cycle is November.
Okay.
So every cycle ends with a graduation, they get their certification, because we give them self-esteem going forward too, something to add to their resume when they start off and all that. So we actually do a little graduation with them because we have trained thousands of youths over Trinidad and Tobago, and it's virtual. As I said, it's 1 hour. We're inviting parents to check us out, Facebook, our emails, and so on. Check us out, and it is an amazing journey.
Tell me about the session you have planned for International Men's Day.
Oh, nice. That's a really great question. International Men's Day, but we're adding a little young to it. Because, of course, we want to shape our young men to fulfill their role as men, which is to provide, protect, positive influence and so on. And so International Men's Day is on the 19th of November. So we're going to have a 2-day program with these young men. There they're going to be able to be taught leadership skills as well. We are teaching them principles of manhood. They are going to get some practical skill sets. And most of it is going to be done by male mentors. So they get to experience what male mentoring looks like and male leadership, what it looks like as well. Yeah. So it's going to be an amazing 2-day. So we are inviting young men at the age 16 to 26. Okay. As I said, not that we're not interested in the older ones, but we want to start the journey with the young ones.
16 to 26, you say?
16 to 26.
All right, fantastic. So that means we get young men to change the perspective on how they see themselves, how they see the society around them, and how they can impact that society around them. Is that the idea?
Definitely.
All right. So tell me about, you mentioned as your third motivating factor, the disabled. So tell me a little bit about the Enable the Disabled initiative.
Nice. Our Enable the Disabled initiative, as I said, came from my own pain point of seeing my daughter. And I know that there are a lot of persons in Trinidad and Tobago who has the same cry as I do, wanting more for them. Many persons think that they don't have very much to offer, but that is such a notion. And what we do with that initiative, we help them to also find their purpose. We help them to be able to do things that they love. And so through our employment system, or to help them become young entrepreneurs as well, we want to make sure that they become better version of themselves, contributing to something greater than themselves. And there's a win-win situation for it, because what that is going to help them to do is to build their own self-esteem as well. They're going to be doing things that they love. These people, they are dedicated people. And so persons who embody them in terms of employment, they're going to win too as well. They're going to be able to make profits. And when I say profits, everybody in business to make profits. So how do they make profits? They are able to get more contributions in terms of persons supporting their business. Persons like myself, and I'm sure many persons who are listening to as well, if you were to go abroad and you see the sort of inclusion that takes place with persons with challenges and disabilities, you want to support organizations, business places, and so on, because it tells us that they care. And so in that sense, they're able to get more profit. Then too, they get a really great resource pool to choose from, because we are doing the work for them. We are going to engage them, train them according to their passion, their limitations. So when they are being placed in an environment, these employers are getting the best resources. These are people who are committed to task. I am not saying that because I hear it, I know it. They're committed to task, they're dedicated, they're not taking time off from job, they're not showing up there unless something absolutely necessary. So, as I said, it's a win-win situation for everybody. And we are not talking about babysitting places for them, showing them in some one thing, and no, they want to have like their counterparts.
Of course.
They're no different from us, just that they have their limitations. So we want to help them to find themselves, become a better version, the best version that they
Now, Wendy, we don't have much time left, right? But I really want to know, how do you find it managing or balancing all these different initiatives that you're working on and maintaining having an impact?
You know, there's a I love that question, Rawkus. You know, there's a saying, African proverb, and I'm going to use it this morning. It says, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go with others. And so Better Begins Here has an amazing team of dedicated lecturers, trainers, coaches, volunteers who take on the task seriously. They have the passion. They actually have and share Better Begins Here core values: competent, trust, passion. So we dive in. So it's not just Wendy Baird or Wendy Baird, Dave Isaac. We embody others to come on board, and so we can get it all done. And they're committed, definitely
Fantastic.
committed.
Love to hear that. So if people want to get in touch with you guys and be a part of the journey as well, how can they do so?
They can reach us. Our primary number is 789-9755. We are located physically at the Cipriani College of Labor in Glenwood, Tobago, also at Crown Point, John Bowman Trace. We have 2 offices. We are on Facebook, Better Begins Here. We also have a Gmail. We're still working on the website, but Better Begins Here, Gmail as well. And because let me just mention this. These initiatives, we need funding, support, donations for them. So we're asking the viewers, the listeners, please reach out to us, especially the Enable the Disabled initiative. We need the funding to go forward so that we can have the impact that we're looking for. We're looking for change. We're looking for better leadership with the next generation. We're looking for them to have clear vision. So we need support. Their generosity is going to help us to help more people, and it's going to also encourage us to keep the same vigor going forward so that we can do an amazing job and create a better TNT.
Well, Wendy, thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Please keep it up, and we look forward to seeing the results of it in the future.
You're most welcome, and thank you very much for having me.
Not a problem. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you.
That's Wendy Baird. She's the managing director of Better Begins Here, which is a non-profit organization dedicated to empowering young people to become better adults, because we know we definitely need to work on that as we go forward. Let's take a quick break, and we come back with more on your Now Morning Show. Stay tuned.